I'm Melissa Oliver. I'm an occupational therapist, and I'm also the program director for the Assistive Technology program in the AT Design Center. Assistive technology is the use of technology that can help veterans regain skills or help to compensate skills they've lost due to injury, illness, or disability. So it can be anything from being able to communicate again because maybe they've had a stroke and they can't verbally speak anymore. There's technology that can speak for them. It can also be helping someone who may have a spinal cord injury but not be able to drive a power wheelchair because they can't walk anymore or have use of their hands, so we teach them how to do it maybe with their head or with their chin. It could be helping individuals with an orthopedic issue who can't use their computer anymore or their smart device. We have technology that can help them do that more functionally and more independently.
I'm Brian Burkhart, and I'm a clinical rehabilitation engineer. You kind of think about anything you do in your daily life. It could be putting on makeup, it could be driving your car, it could be just walking down the hallway. Depending upon what type of injury or illness a veteran might have, those types of goals and lots of others can become difficult. There's lots of clinicians who help with that in many different ways. Where the assistive technology program and rehabilitation engineers come in is helping to kind of take the technical burden away from the veteran and the clinician to try to meet the veteran's goals. And oftentimes that involves fabricating things that don't exist. And that's where 3D printing comes in and has made it a lot easier to do those things. So they came up with this model which is made out of a splinting material that they typically use, and it's essentially a cup holder that's on a swivel with some different features to hold a straw. What it allowed them to do was to use drinking pitchers and drinking straws that are already in the hospital that are used every day in a different way. They can hang it on the bed and it kind of stays with the veteran. This is what the materials they had on hand to make it with, so it wasn't very, it's not very pretty, and it's not going to last very long because it's fragile. So through the 3D printing network, they sent us their models, and we worked with them over a number of different prototypes and meetings to come up with something that was a little bit more robust. And so what you see here is kind of one of the prototypes holding a pitcher. It seems like a simple thing, but if you're in bed and you can't move and you have to call a nurse to do anything, being able to take a sip and get your own water without asking for help is kind of a big deal.
Another one that we're really proud of, we had a female veteran who had a spinal cord injury, and one of her goals was to be able to put on her own makeup. And she didn't have use of her fingers. She had kind of gross motor movement. We worked with our rehab engineers and our occupational therapists to come up with a solution that could easily work for her. So what she would do was be able to slide her hand in here, and then she would, I'm going to set this down, put it into her universal cuff, and then be able to put on her makeup.
What I think's really amazing about VA, both in medical modeling, in rehabilitation, and assistive technology, is that all of the things we're doing for veterans is solely focused on meeting their needs and solving problems so that they can meet their goals. There's no focus on a bottom line or profit, and I think that's really unique in healthcare and in the world. We're able to provide very specific solutions that just meet people's needs. Choose VA.